No way, he just did it to me with a...
How is it going, vaqueros, and welcome back to Gumi's Shotgun Funhouse. And in this video, we're going to be covering a shotgun that used to be pretty damn bad and one of the worst, and after its buff, actually is really damn fun, really good, and actually one of my new favorite shotguns just because of the way it works. And as you can see from the footage, it's going to be the Gracey Auto. In case you guys missed it, the Gracey Auto was one of the few shotguns to get a pretty major buff. It had probably the best one overall out of all of the shotguns, and this one went from being obnoxiously bad to actually pretty damn good, but only with specific class setups. And so I'm going to show you guys the secret to running this weapon and why it's actually really damn good and some awesome things about it. So if you want to know more, make sure to stick around and we'll go over it right now. And also check the timestamps below if you just want to get that class and skedaddle. No worries if you do. As always, let's talk the damage first and get that out of the way. So first of all, the damage buff that this got was basically increasing that pellet damage up close from 24 to 25. And all it takes is that one little point, because now the Gracey Auto is a 3-shot kill up close. This is along with the Gallo and the Origin 12, which are other 3-shot semi-auto shotguns. After that initial max damage range, it drops down to a 4-shot and then a 5-shot, and then it gets kind of into a pea shooter mode. But for the first two ranges, it's basically the most important ones. It goes from 3.6 meters, from 0 to 3.6 that is, where you can deal 3-shot kills, and then it goes from 3.6 to 7.6, and in that range, you are going to be dealing 4-shot kills. So what this means in terms of time to kill, if you're up close and personal getting that 3-shot kill, your time to kill with that rate of fire being at around 231 rounds per minute, as per sim.gg, so credit to them. This gun has a time to kill of roughly 519 milliseconds, which is pretty awesome. That's a pretty great time to kill to be up close, but it can get better. So what's the big deal about this gun, okay? Why is it so good? Well, there's a lot of different attachments to run, and I see people run this thing, and they always run something that kind of makes it bad, in my opinion. So what do we stay away from? What do we kit it out with? Well, first of all, the most important barrel of all is the rapid fire barrel. Unlike the other barrels, this one increases your rate of fire, therefore increasing your time to kill. But funny enough and oddly enough, I'm surprised it doesn't actually hurt your range. So your time to kill basically just goes up, and all you really lose is a sprint to fire speed, which is kind of bad because this is sort of a rusher's weapon, but we'll make up for it with other attachments. Overall though, having that really fast rate of fire makes up for it. And if we take a look at how much it gives, it basically takes it from 231 rounds per minute to 288. So that takes our time to kill all the way to 416 milliseconds. Now if we compare that to the other shotguns we have, you'll see it's actually the fastest killing out of all the semi and full auto shotguns. The only exception here is maybe the Jack with slugs, or the Origin with slugs, or Dragon's Breath, that sort of thing. But for the base gun and buckshot, this is the fastest killing buckshot shotgun that we have that is a semi-auto. So that's really awesome. Of course, it doesn't kill as fast as the 725 and the double barrel, but those have their own quirks we'll talk about in different videos. So that's basically the real strength of this gun, but there's a few other things we need to look at. First of all, the magazine size. This is probably one of the biggest detriments to this gun because it only has 5 rounds, and if you don't have a magazine attached, you will basically reload each shell individually, and it's incredibly slow. Unfortunately, we have 7 rounds and 10 round mags, and they really aren't good because they hurt your rate of fire, and I hate that they do that because the 10 round mag just completely destroys the gun and makes it not even close to what it should be. The 7 round mag is okay. It basically offsets the rapid fire barrel, so you end up with sort of the base time to kill, which isn't bad, but in my opinion, there's a better way to go about it. If we just equip extra pellets and buck and slug and discard, we have an awesome combination that, in my opinion, makes this gun a one-on-one engagement guaranteed win. If you are up close with this setup, just spam the hell out of it and you will get the kill. It's insanely effective, and let's go over why. First of all, buck and slug is great because it includes slug, and that tends to deal a little bit more damage if you just hit that slug. And of course, the extra pellets makes up for that lack of 4 pellets we lose from buck and slug, so that kind of helps offset that. Now, discard is essential because normally I would rock gung-ho, but to be honest, discard basically lets you reload so much faster. The only key here is that you basically need to spend all 5 rounds. There needs to be nothing left in your shotgun in order to get the benefit of discard. So just spam those 5 shots and then start reloading, and it's insanely effective. Now, extra pellets, really, that's my favorite way to go. I don't bother with extra range because you lose 2 pellets. I don't bother with the magazines. I just treat this as a really close quarters 1v1 weapon, and it's been such a blast and I love it. It's similar to the 725 type of playstyle where you have to really know how to reload and kind of get into cover and stuff. It has that same sort of feel to it. Now, you can also rock reduced powder if you really want to take that time to kill up, but in my opinion, it's not as good because it does hurt your range on this gun, unlike the combat shotgun. Incendiary is another good option because, well, it's incendiary, and seeing a flaming shotgun coming at you just kind of has this, I don't know, primal fear that comes from it. So I say incendiary is probably the second best way to go. But honestly, I would rock buck and slug. That is the absolute best in my opinion, and rocking that with extra pellets. Now, in terms of the best class, this is how I rock the gun. So first of all, we have the full choke, pretty much essential in all Vanguard shotguns. We have the rapid fire barrel. The Chariot Sport barrel is my stock of choice simply because it helps that hip fire accuracy and gives us a movement speed bonus equivalent to that of the P wire stock. The remove stock gives you the best benefit to your movement speed overall, but it does not give you any more of your hip fire accuracy. Then we're going to have discard and quick, 2 essential ones. The tape grip I use to get a little bit more movement speed, and it does kind of help with the sprint to fire speed as well. Of course, we have extra pellets and buck and slug, and then we have the SMLE pistol grip, and that's going to help offset that slow sprint to fire speed. Now, overall, my thoughts on this gun, it is fantastic. It's one of my new favorites, simply because, well, with the update to 300 health, this gun was pretty bad, but with the buff it got, now it's back to where it was, and in my opinion, it's even better than where it was at 250 health, because you have more health and you have more time to react with this gun. I know it's a little difficult to use with just the 5 rounds, but I promise you, if you treat this gun right, if you treat it like a one-on-one engagement type of close quarters weapon, you are going to demolish people. It's sort of like the Type 100 that people talk about, where it's extremely good but very limiting with its mag size. This is the same situation here, same as the 725 in the double barrel. It's the same thing, and I love this gun. It is so much fun. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. Please let me know. I think it's one of my new favorites. Let me know down below, as usual, what do you think about this gun? What other shotgun should I check out next? And with all that being said, guys, I want to see you in the next video. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. That would really help a lot. It's kind of how I communicate with a lot of fans and talk to people on there, and people always tag me in funny things. And that's just kind of how I update people on like shotgun stats sometimes and post little videos. So if you haven't, go check out my Twitter. And with all that said and that shameless plug out of the way, I will see you guys in the next video.